Alright, so welcome back again. My name is Jesse, and in this wonderful tutorial on Streamlit project, we're trying to see how to build a very simple application, right, using Streamlit and in Python. So let's see what we're building. So if I go back again to my workspace, this is a simple app we're building, Morse code analysis app, in which we can just type in any particular word. So let me type in a word like Streamlit is cool. Yep, Streamlit is cool, or just go with Streamlit is cool. Right, and I go with encrypt. So this is going to encrypt that particular text into Morse code, right? So that's giving us our result here. So this is the original, the Morse code that you have, and I can copy it here, right? Very simple. I can also play that particular app here by going into play audio, and if I go to the play audio, I can see it at work. So this option, I don't know whether I can hear it. I know I can hear it, but let me play it here so that you can see it. I'm playing it on my phone. So let's type in the same thing. So Streamlit is cool. I'm trying to enter it on my phone so that I'll be able to get the sound. So encrypt it. Now let's play it together. So let's go with it. Hope you can hear it. So we're able to get the Morse code for that particular app that we are building, right? So that's what we're trying to build in this wonderful tutorial. It's going to be a very simple tutorial. We are just using the Morse code analysis just for encryption. Later on in the future, we'll try and see how to work with the decryption, right? So let's see how to build this app from scratch. So to recap, or to start with our workflow, we are going to have an input session, then going to have a particular function which is going to be accessing our audio files. Then we are going to have another output to show us, or show to the user, the result, right? So that's going to be our simple workflow. So let's go back to our workspace and then write some code. So just come back again to our workspace, move into our folder that we're working on, which is still part of the 30 days of Streamlit, but I'll just go to my Streamlit project. So in case you want to get more of the apps, you can check the links below, or you can check out the courses, right? Okay, so let's go back again and check what you have built so far. So we're building a new app, and as we have been doing, we are using webgenesis.py to generate our template. So I'll just go with Python 3 webgenesis.py. Then let's call this one as number 3, right? You can call it number 3 or number 8, any number you want it to be. So let's make it number 8. Then I'll just go straight away with my Morse code. So Morse code app, right? So it's going to generate the folder for us. Very simple. Then I'll move into my Morse code app 08 number 8, then my Morse code app. So we have our app.py file and our data file. So let's open our folder and write some code. This was from the previous app that we built. So I'll go back again. So this is the app, and this is our simple template that we'll be using for this particular app, right? So let's go back again and change this one from Streamlit to Morse code analysis app. Yeah, and this is still part of the Streamlit project, right? Streamlit project. Perfect. So we are going to have two sessions. We have the home session, in which we are going to have, based on the app that we built, we have a simple option here in which we can just upload in the test, and we have two different columns, one to give us the result and another one to play the audio, right? Was played there. So I'll go back again to our app and let's create that particular one. So let's use forms. So with st.form, I'm going to specify the key for the form. Let's call this one as my encrypt form, right? Perfect. And then we just go straight away. So we can actually clear. Can also go and say clear on submit, set that one to true. Then we just pass in our code. So we are going to put in a test area. So I'll call just my raw test. I'm just going to go from here and specify that this is going to be my test area. So enter test here, right? Perfect. Then I need to specify a button. So let's go to the submit button. This is going to be my encryption button which I'm going to use. So st.form submit button, pass in the label. It's going to be encrypt, right? Perfect. That is all. So we are done with the first part of the app. So let's go back and stop the old app and then start the new app. Come back here and I'm going to start the app. So Streamlit run app.py. So Streamlit has been upgraded, so the current version is 1.0 in case you are watching it from the future. And today is this is almost about 2 years since Streamlit was released on the 6th of October. Very interesting. So we're going to open it and I'm going to set up my workspace, then we start writing some code. So if I go back again to it, so we have this is the port that is running on, and I want to be able to see them at the same side, right? So as you can see, we have our encrypt button here. Perfect. That is the first aspect. So we have built the option to receive input from the user. Now we need a particular function to do the processing and another function and another option to return it, right? So let's go back again and then work those stages out. So first of all, after the person has pressed the button, we want to do something. So if the submit button is pressed, I want you to create a form. So let's give a simple column, right? So I'm going to create a simple column. So column 1 and then column 2 is going to be st.columns. Let's give just 2 columns. Let's make it like 2 and then 1, right? Perfect. 1 for the audio and 1 for the encrypted result. Perfect. That is it. Then from there I'm going to say that, okay, with the column 1 I want you to return the result. So st.info is going to be the Morse code, right? Then we can now bring the result of the encryption. So we can do it like this option. So we need to pass in a particular function when the person clicks on the button. So we need a function. It's going to be our encryption function here. So encryption function, right? Perfect. After that, we are going to return that particular result. So then let's move on to the audio. So with column 2, st.info is going to be for the audio, right? Or let's call this, let's call this audio. So Morse code audio, right? So we have the original Morse code and we also have the one for the audio. So always run. So let's test it out. So hello, click on encrypt. We're going to have 2 columns which are going to have our results. So we have the Morse code and you have the Morse code audio. So let's work on the first aspect, the encryption function. So I'll just go back again to the top of my file and I'm going to be using the same functions that we have been using, the same kind of function we use for the password generation, right? In case you are lost, we use this particular function to help us get the phonetics, right? The same function is the same concept to be using to change it, because if you go back and then I check on Google on Morse code an alphabet, so let's say Morse code plus alphabet, right? So it's going to give us a dictionary, right, with all the Morse code, and then here, so this is the NATO alphabet that we used some time ago. I don't know, really remember. So that is what we are trying to use. So we are picking those things there. This particular, I hope it's able to open. If you go back to Wikipedia, you see that this is it. So this is what you are trying to go. If I check it out with Morse code, you see that this is it. So we have A and this is the Morse code, right? So we'll be using a dictionary of all the characters together with this Morse code. The other one we did was all the characters and the phonetics for the NATO, but this time we're using the alphabet and then the Morse code, and we're going to create a dictionary and use it for that, right? So we'll be replacing it. So let's, for example, something like this. So let's go back to our workspace. I'm going to create a, let's play this one vertically, and I want to run the code for you to see what I mean. So back to Python. So just as we had inside this diagram, we have A and then this dot and then dash, right? So in case I want to create a dictionary to help us with the Morse code, I can just come back again to this. So let's say I have my Morse code dictionary here. So let's say M Morse code dictionary, something simple like this. I'm going to have my A, right? And then A is going to be based on the result you are getting from Wikipedia. We have a dot and a dash, right? So I'll just come back again and paste in a dot and a dash, right? Something like that. So this is going to be for A. So this is a simple dictionary we have created. So in case I want to, if I have an alphabet like, let's say ha, right? Ha, something like that. Yeah, and I want to be able to replace it with it, I can just go back again, dot replace, Now pass in my Morse code dictionary, right? So if I pass in this option here, it's going to be using this one to help us replace it, right? So that's what that's what you're trying to use. And we already saw how to do this one in some sessions ago, right? So in case I want to replace it, I can just come back again. So using this option, yeah, I can now come back. We can actually unpack it because it's just two. We can unpack it, but the simplest approach is that I want to say that if anytime you see A, I want you to replace it with replace any A with this dot and then dash, right? So this is going to work on it and replace it for us, so that it has replaced them. So that is the basic understanding behind what you are trying to do. So you are using this a dictionary of all the characters in the Morse code, and then you'll be using the replace function, or a simple dictionary function, replace function, to replace the entire stuff, right? So this time you are using the get from this particular dictionary. So in that case, in case I want to do the same thing, I'm just going to go, let's say, for I in list of the ha, say ha, right? Let's make it a variable, so let's call it s ha, right? Yeah, something like that. Let's say for I in, let's convert the entire stuff into a dictionary. So print, not into a dictionary, but into a list, and I print it out, so we get ha, right? In case I want to replace it, I can just come down here and now do a simple replace. It's going to be, say, my dictionary, so Morse, hope everybody can see it, or hope it's not too small, code dictionary, right, dot get, and I'm going to pass in I and then I. So this is going to be used to replace the entire stuff. So let's print it out. Right, so that is one of the ways of replacing it. So we'll be using the same idea, so it's giving us almost the same thing, right? But to be able to replace it, so we are getting almost the same result, right? So how do you do that? So we'll be using the same concept to help us get it back. So I can just go back again and put a simple list, like let's say my dictionary that I have, so my Morse code dictionary in the format of a list, dot get I, then for I in the list of X, I want you to get the result back. Perfect. So we can also try it again. So the reason it is giving us the same result, it's not working, is that this our dictionary was in capital, right? That's why the first one is failed. That's why this one is also failing. So if I convert the result that I'm getting dot upper to upper, right? Now it's going to work perfectly. And that has converted it perfectly for us, right? So we have to make sure that the dictionary we are using is actually matching up with the word, otherwise it's always going to return the result. So in case it doesn't find it, it's going to return the result. That is the basic understanding we are trying to arrive here. All this thing is still part of the function, which we have been going over and over again, the function. So I'll just go back again and I'll implement that code here. So this is what we used, right? The same thing. So I'll just copy the same thing, or let's not copy, but let's go back again and run to help people who are not around. I'm going to put my dictionary, right? So I'll call that my Morse code dictionary. It's going to be a collection of all the alphabets, right? Just as we saw inside our diagram here, which I already have. So I'll just copy it and paste it to save us time. Right, so I'll just paste it here. So this is a dictionary of all the arrays. So alphabets, all the alphabet together with the numbers and then their Morse code. Like, yeah, they are Morse code. Now I'm going to create a function to help us with that. So def, let's go to encrypt to Morse code, right? I want to encrypt the entire stuff to Morse code. I'm going to pass in my term, whatever term or test that is applied. I'm going to return my results, which is going to be just as we did here using a dictionary. Just go with the same thing, join them together. So dot join, I'm going to pass in my dictionary. So pick the dictionary and then get every value from it. So for I in a list of that term, right? Now we can now return the results. So it's a simple function, right, to help us get the Morse code, right? So if I copy this entire stuff back again into my Jupyter notebook or my Python notebook, so let's copy this and test that function. So I'll clear off this, paste it here, right? Now we have our dictionary, we have our function. So let's say I have a text like S, so hello world 1 2 3. Right, if I go back and I just pass in the encrypt function, so encrypt to Morse code function that we created above, we can be able to use it to encrypt the entire stuff. I pass in my S, and now that has converted the entire stuff there. Only the numbers were converted, so that means that I have to make sure that this is now in uppercase. So I'll just go back again and just go with dot upper. If I go with dot upper, now everything has been committed. So that is how the function works. So let's go back again and then work on that particular function. So let's make sure that this one that is coming here is always in uppercase, so upper. Right, perfect. That is it. So it works well. Now I'll just come down here and apply that particular function here. So we're going to have our result, which is going to be my encrypt to Morse code. I'll pass in the raw text. Right, then now let's bring the result out. So write the result, and let's make it copyable by coming back again and going with the format of making it st.copy, not copy code, then the result. So if I save it and I come back again to the app that we're building, which is the official app, so the official app on our app page. So if I come here and I type in a word like, let's say hello, and I click on encrypt, you're going to see the result, right? So that's given us everything has been encrypted well, and we can now see it here. We can actually copy it. Very nice. So our app is working perfectly well. Now the next thing that we need to do is that we need to be able to work on the next section on the code. So how do you work on the code? So to be working on the code, be using just an audio file. So if I go back to Wikipedia, let's go back to Wikipedia, and then I'm going to search for this particular option. So Morse code audio file. So Morse code audio file wiki, right? If I go to Wikipedia, we have all the Morse code there. You can see that I came to this site, and then you can download them, right, if you want to, but don't worry, I'm going to have them in the repository. So you see that we have all the code, these audio files. If I click on it, you can get all of them for alphabet, for punctuations, for prose signs, for alphabet 2, and if I click on it, it's going to give you the sound, right? So this is what we will be using. So I'm going to download all of these particular files, and then I'll use them inside the app, and then we'll play them when that code is generated. So I'll go back again to the app itself, and I'm going to paste in those particular files. So I'll go back again to my folder. Inside my Morse code, I'm going to paste in it here, right? So we have Morse code audio files. All the files are there, and now I can just go back again to my workspace, which is here. I'm going to be using some packages to help us with that. So it will be important these packages to help us with our loading of our file. So all we need is just go with import OS to get the paths for it, right? Then now I'll just come down here. You can use any audio playing file, but let's use the default option. So it's going to be this option. I'm going to look through them. So for I in list of that raw text that we have, right? So the raw text is going to be in uppercase so that we get the result. I want you to play it. So how do we play that particular audio file? So for example, if I have an audio file, let's hide this inside my directory, make this one bigger, inside my Morse code directory here, I can now specify that particular path. So let's specify the path here. I'll come back here and specify the path. So let's go to path. You can give it any path name, right? You can specify the path, but let's not use a path. Let's make it as simple as possible. So in case I have some file and I want to play it, I can just call it as, let's say, my audio file that I want to play. I'm going to open that particular file. So using Streamlit to open, I'll open it. So I'll go into my os.path.join, and I'll pass in my Morse code audio file. So this is the folder. This folder is what I'm passing in. So audio files. Right. So we are going to go there. Then if I go there, you see that we have all the various files there with the particular character a dash and Morse code. So this Morse code is constant, but the ones that are changing is the first one. So I'm just going to pick the first one and use it, right? So these ones are constant, but the one that is changing is the first character. So we're using that one as our constant or our base, right? Then I just go back into this file and let's pick one. So I'm going to pick A, right? Dash Morse code, as you can see from here, Morse code.og, Morse code.ogg, right? So we see the same thing. So let's say I go out from the punctuations option, we have it here. So like let's say we have a file like a Morse code, so A dash Morse code dash or underscore the OG, right? So we are going to open that particular file. In case I want to play it with Streamlit, I can just go with this to audio byte. I want to convert it to bytes before I can read this audio file dot read. Then I can now play it with Streamlit. So Streamlit audio, I'm passing my audio byte. If I save it and I come back to the app itself, so let's type in any text to hello or awesome course. It's an awesome course. If I click on encrypt, it's going to encrypt it and give us our result. Perfect. But in case I want to play the audio, if I go back to the audio file, it said that UTF-8 code can't decode byte, right? So the reason is because of how it is. So we have to fix it. So let's fix it out. We are opening the file, but we need to open it as a particular format, right? Read it as, we did not specify the format we want to read it. So it needs to be read byte because you are getting a 10 in byte. So let's save it and then let's go back again, type in something. So hello is simple to type. If I go back here and I check what we have now, you see that we have our audio file. If I click on it, it is playing, right? You can't hear it because of my settings, but I can see that it's playing. Perfect. And you can actually download it, right? Very simple. So that's what we're trying to use to help us. So we will be looping through our list here. If we find any of them, then we're going to pick it out, right? So I'll just copy this one here, copy this back, right? So this is going to be audio file. Then this is going to be our constant. This one doesn't change, right? I'm going to say that okay, if you get a particular file dot format, pass in the character I. Perfect. You're going to read a particular file, and then I want you to read it, right? Irrespective of it. So it would be nice if we tell the user the particular word there, right? So I can just come down here before it plays and specify that okay, st.write the particular alphabet. So dot format. I'll specify that okay, this alphabet is there. So let's save it and check it out. So I'll come down and let's paste in a text like hola, right? Click on encrypt. It's going to encrypt it into Morse code for us. As you can see, we have the app in Morse code, and then we also must have it here. So built-in function or method notes. Yeah, so the reason we're having this one is we forgot to call the function. It's supposed to be a function, not an attribute. Yep. And now if I go back, click on hola, bonjour, привет, it's saying. Okay, so now the same word that we had, right, is now here. So you can see that all of them have been picked, hola, right, and they are playing behind the scene. So it will be better if we let the user know what the term was. So I'll just go back again, and then at the top of the file we need to be able to tell the user the original term, right? So let's call it as st dot let's give it a word. So right, so original test, right, so that the person will know what the person pasted there. So format, I'm passing my test. It's going to be the raw test. Let's go back again. So if I put in hola, this is for only English, right? This is for English. In case you want to do other languages, you can also do the same approach. So the original test was hola, this is it, and this is the term. Everything is working. So what I want to do is I want to hide this one so that in case it's too long, it's not going to pick more space for user experience. So I'll come back again I'm going to put this one inside an expander. So with st expander, I'm going to call it as play audio. Play audio. See, I can't spell play. Play audio. Now comment this one out, or indent it out. So if I go back to the app, let's paste in our favorite term for now, hola. So now we have it here, right? So this is the Morse code, this is the Morse code audio, play audio, and everything is working as expected. Right, very cool. So that is how to build this simple Morse code app. Very simple, right? Very simple. So in another tutorial, we try and see how to do an encryption in which you pick the Morse code and then we will encrypt it. The original test, this is it, then you have it here. The sound is playing behind the scene, yeah, but I don't know why you can't hear it, but the sound is playing, so I think you can hear it now. So you can hear the sound playing behind the scene, right? As you can see, this is the sounds there. The other alternative is that if you can combine all of those audio files together, so that when you click on one button, it will play all of them together. That would be nice, instead of playing it one after the other, like what I'm doing, as you can see. Right, so that is how to build this simple app from scratch. So thank you for watching the tutorial. In case you have any question or contribution, you can put inside the comment section below. You have seen how we have been able to build wonderful apps using the same approach. So thank you for watching, and then check out the code will be available for you to have access to it, and check out our website, and then check out the other courses. See you in the next session. Stay blessed. Bye.